Hey, this is Sean from Time and Talk. So today I would like to make a video about an auction that's coming up for a watch, an important historical watch, if you wanna call it that. And the watch is Adolf Hitler's watch, and apparently it will, or they think it will, fetch about £3 million. And I'll put a picture up of the watch here, and it raises quite a lot of issues, really. Obviously, it's interesting from the standpoint of, any historically important item that comes up for auction is in itself, it's interesting, but I think it also raises, issues about the ethics of buying and selling things like this, and who owns it is another quite interesting thing. Obviously, the Second World War is a fascinating time, and there's a lot of people that are really interested in that time period, myself included. Particularly, I'm interested in the French, the impact on French society of the Second World War, with the way that they were occupied by the Germans and things like that. And actually that comes into it because the watch in question was actually, I'm reading from my phone, was looted from Hitler's mountain hideout by a French soldier called Robert Mignot in the closing weeks of the Second World War. And apparently this guy sold this watch to his cousin, and I don't know how these things work, but if you loot something and then you sell it, do you get the money for it? I don't know. If there's any person that I would gladly say someone could loot from, it would be Hitler. But so the watch in question is a Le Coultre Reverso, which actually has, I'll put a picture up, like I said, which has the Nazi emblem, the swastika, Adolf Hitler's initials. It's gold, has a black dial, and obviously, it's quite interesting from the perspective of ethics. Should people be profiting from that person's watches, or do we treat it as a part of history in which it's an important piece from somebody important in who's had an impact on the world, obviously a negative one, but also who would buy this watch? I'm guessing they're not going to wear it, so why would you pay £3 million for a watch apparently that you weren't going to wear? Apparently there's a letter from the guy's daughter authenticating the watch, which is included in the sale. But as I said, the guy apparently sold it to his cousin. And could you imagine if you sold something to your cousin and then they sold it for £3 million and you sold it to them for 10 francs or whatever? Actually, the article that I'm reading, which is from the Metro, a British newspaper, it actually says, "We are not offering this in homage to the worst man who ever lived. Instead, it is an incredibly rare historic relic, deeply evocative of one of the darkest periods in world history, and thus especially important." So I just thought I'd make a little quick video about that. In terms of, I don't really know what my opinion of it is, to be honest. Should we be selling and making profit off something like that? It's the same kind of debate as the whole statue thing. Should we have statues of people who've done bad things in city centres and things like that? Is it denying that it ever happened by not doing so? It is an interesting one, and I didn't really know that why would I? I didn't really know that watch was coming up for auction. I just thought it was quite an interesting one, and also with it being a JLC, well, not a JLC, a Le Coultre Reverso. It's not great publicity for the brand, I guess. somebody chooses it of that ilk. So thanks very much for watching. Tell me in the comments what you think of that sort of thing. Should we be selling these sorts of items for people of that sort or not? And if you like the channel, please subscribe, because every little helps. Trying to get to 1,000 if I ever can do, that would be good. Thanks, bye bye.